All right, good morning, everyone. You join me for once in my own car. This is my 2019 Mazda 3 hatchback, and I am currently driving up to Detroit, Michigan. We have about 4 hours left in the drive, so we basically just started it. But today's video is somewhat of an interesting one. So I get invited on press trips, and basically a press trip is a trip where a company will invite a bunch of members of the press, of which I qualify as. They invite them out to drive certain cars. This is like new car launches, like Toyota flew me down to San Diego in January to drive the new 4Runner. But it can also be other companies, like Kumho Tire did an event in Atlanta this year where they flew me down to test out their new tires. It wasn't necessarily like a car review, it was a tire review. So today we have two very unique press events that actually just happened to line up back-to-back days in Detroit. So event number one is by Klipsch. They are a audio company. They build speakers and whatnot, and they are starting to work their way into cars. We experienced this back in January in the Nissan Armada. They actually brought us to a recording studio and showed us how the Klipsch audio system in the Armada works and what makes it special and whatnot. So that is today. Today is a Tuesday, June 3rd. So we're actually going to be going and learning how they press records, which should be pretty unique. I think that will be very interesting. They said I get to take one home, which is very special. And then tomorrow is Chrysler's 100th year anniversary. So they are bringing out a bunch of vintage cars for us to drive. Now, unfortunately, I was talking back and forth with the Chrysler PR team. I won't have time to review any of them. So if you see in the video that I'm driving certain cars, don't hold your breath for a full review. I think I'm only given time in each car like 10-15 minutes, and that just isn't enough to do a full review. So this will probably be the only video that you see me driving those cars, unfortunately, but if I can work something out, I will definitely try. But again, I'm not holding my breath. And then if we have time, I might review some other cars, do some other things while I'm up here in Detroit. So this is kind of a trip vlog, kind of a behind the scenes of press trips. I want to start doing more of these because sometimes I get invited to weird, wacky ones. Sometimes it's a pretty straightforward drive event, but other times it's cool stuff like this. So I'm bringing you guys along for the ride. So bear with me here as we drive to Motown. All right, so we just got to Detroit and we are going into Third Man Records. So we just got done at Third Man Records, We learned how to make and press records, which was super cool. We had a really cool Klipsch sound system demo in the Ram Tungsten, as you saw, and I met Alex from Collector Car Feed, which was super cool. He gave me a magnet. I'd met him before, but never met him in person, so that was a really, really cool moment. We talked for a while. He's an awesome person in real life. So now, I am going to find some food. I am going to eat said food. I am going to then head to my friend Spencer's. He has a little Pontiac collection, maybe film some stuff, and then we'll go to the hotel for night number 1. All right, so I met up with my buddy Spencer, and he is letting me review his 1992 Pontiac Transport, so you'll see this on the channel somewhat soon. Spencer takes such good care of his cars. I've reviewed so many of his cars. I apologize that it's windy, but this is just an absolute cherry example. Has under 100K on it. Look at that interior, baby. If we're lucky, Spencer will give us a Pontiac tour of his collection. Some that I've reviewed, some that I haven't. But yeah, there it is, the Dust Buster. So, review number 1 of the trip. There you go. Very cool. Also, two-door Bronco. These things are really growing on me. I like the steel wheels. But anyway. All right, so this is my friend Spencer. I've reviewed this, and not this, and I just reviewed that. Tell me about your fleet.
So just as long as I can remember, like, Pontiacs have been one of my favorite cars. GMs more specifically, or GMs are what I started off with, and then I kind of like dialed in, you know, Pontiacs are what I like. It's just an era of cars, and it's a brand that I think really captured the 80s in the sense of styling and just fun, exciting looking cars. Whether or not they're actually fun or exciting to drive is another story.
So tell me about this one.
So this is my 1989 Pontiac Grand Prix. I've had this 8.5 years now. It's one of my favorite cars that I've ever owned. It's a California car pretty much its whole life, up until I got it when I lived in Phoenix in 2016. And I've had it since then. It basically, now that it's here in Michigan, I make sure it's pretty much garaged most of the time. Only comes out on nice days.
This one?
This is my 1989 Pontiac Grand Am. It is the SE, so for the year it is the fully loaded trim level. Automatic with the driver info center in the center. It has a super rare CD player in it, has weather band and all that on it. So really high tech for the time. And then same with the engine in it. It has the quad 4 engine. So back then, obviously,
that was in the 442, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Obviously today a dual overhead cam engine's nothing crazy to write home about, but back then it was pretty high tech. So, and it's a very, very fun and peppy car to drive, which you've seen.
I really like this car, and what I like about it too is that it looks very modern, but then this back, I don't know what you call the like shape of the back.
Yeah.
I really like that touch.
I learned it at some point, and I forget what it was called. But yeah, obviously it's more for function than form, because you have to have some sort of headroom in the back. Yeah.
This is your, technically newest acquisition.
Well, the van's my newest, but this is the second newest.
Gotcha.
So starting off with this one, actually, I bought this from the original owner's wife. I wanted to restore it, get it back on the road, and show her it drove again. But it's sat since 2000. It's very rotted out underneath. Really not safe to be back on the road. But in the course of me having it, I have gotten it running. It does run and drive, but it's just not safe. It's very rotted out. This black one, the black one I bought, it has a bad engine, but it basically has no rust, or not much rust at all on it. So this is going to get the engine out of it and be restored and put back on the road.
Very nice. I don't think I've done anything like this.
No, I was hoping it was going to be ready by the time it came out here, but at some point this summer it'll be running.
I kind of like the circular Pontiac badge.
Yeah, yep. It's a little bit more bling to the badge because you got the gold ring around it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it also has headlight washers on it too. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when you have your
work?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it on this car. But there's basically like there's a separate reservoir for
Oh,
it.
wow.
So at the very least, I can get it working. I just don't know. I haven't done too much in the way of repairs
state,
yet.
yeah. Huh. I like the interior too.
All those
this
buttons.
one's open, so you can go in there.
Oh wow! Oh, you got the car phone.
Yeah, yeah. Car phone. You have
The
your
wood. Man, I wish this had smell-o-vision. This just
It smells like a 1990 in there.
that's so cool.
Yeah, and again, this is like another pretty loaded up car. The only option I think it doesn't have is the sunroof.
Yeah.
But other than that, it has CD player. It has all the seat controls, power, everything. And as far as I know, what I've messed with, everything works on it. So
Dang.
yeah, except the screens on the dash. You get a compass, and then you get also like a
Wow, like
maintenance
actual
reminder.
like screens.
Yeah.
Nice.
Except those, but they work in that car, so I just have to swap the cage busters over.
Gotcha. And then okay, so now your newest acquisition.
So this replaced my 95 Oldsmobile Silhouette. This was really just because I wanted a full fleet of Pontiacs. That's why I got this. It was really it's not the last car that I want. I'm still on the hunt for a Pontiac 6000.
Ooh, were some of them were all-wheel drive, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
all-wheel
man.
drive. You had the SE and the STE that you get all-wheel drive in. But yeah, as far as this thing goes, it's just been a bucket list car for the longest time, and even when I bought my Silhouette, I was on the hunt for a transport, but the Silhouette popped up first.
The Silhouette was beautiful, by the way. That was a
color.
great teal color, and
that
and
color
all
is
that.
just great.
But this is quite the little fleet that you have.
Yeah, I'm happy about it. Like I think this is my 62nd car, so I've had my fair share of cars come and go, but as you can tell, like that Grand Prix, like I never keep cars that long, so the fact that I've had it 8.5 years, like that's not going anywhere. And then basically all these other cars, except for the white one, it's gonna end up getting scrapped eventually once all the parts are off it. But other than that, everything else is staying. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, so we're done filming for the day. We're done pressing records for the day. Time to head to the hotel purchased by Chrysler. Thank you, Chrysler. So we're gonna head to the hotel, sleep, and then we have the Chrysler 100-year celebration tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. Here's a quick run through of what's going to happen. I hope it looked cool. I haven't done it yet, so let's go to the hotel and get some well-deserved sleep. Here are the digs for the night. Shout out to Chrysler. Although I have a balcony, it is carpeted and it faces the inside of the hotel. But there it is. It's still light out, but it's that part of the year where it's almost 9 o'clock and still light. I am tired. I'm gonna get some sleep, but tomorrow we're gonna drive some Chryslers. All right, good morning, everyone. It's the morning of day 2, and yes, I have a collared shirt on again. I do have my purple shirt in my backpack ready to go in case the opportunity arises for a review, but today we are driving to, I believe, Belle Island, to the Detroit Yacht Club, where Walter P. Chrysler was a member at, to drive some old, hopefully drive, at least ride in some old vintage Chryslers. This is unlike any other press event I've been to. Normally it's all new product, new product, new product. So today we actually get to sample the old. So that's the plan. Go to Belle Isle, drive, experience some old Chryslers, and that's it. We're gonna see some friends later tonight, but the core of the day is going to be Chrysler. We'll see if we can squeeze a review out, but it might just be this video of just kind of driving them and whatnot. So here we go. So we're here on Belle Isle, which is beautiful, but I didn't realize they have some concept cars here. So we're at the event. Time for Chrysler. The first car I hopped into was a 1958 Chrysler 300D. This had a 309 cubic inch Hemi V8. This was the last car to get the original Hemi before they moved on. It made 380 horsepower and had a base price of $5,200. The next car I hopped into was a 1976 Chrysler Cordoba. This had the 360 V8 and a very interesting story. Back in the 1970s, Chrysler advertised rich Corinthian leather.
I could ask for nothing beyond the quality of Cordoba's workmanship, the tastefulness of its appearance. I request nothing beyond the thickly cushioned luxury of seats available even in soft Corinthian leather,
which was just regular leather with a fancy name. Ricardo Montalban was the spokesperson for the Cordoba, and this was his personal car that Chrysler gave to him after he did the ads. He drove it for 2 years. The irony? Chrysler gave him vinyl seats instead of the rich Corinthian leather that he was advertising. Next, I got to take a ride in a 1924 Chrysler 6. This was one of 4 prototype cars that Walter P. Chrysler built a year before Chrysler was founded, and this is the only remaining example. It was really cool to be in a car that Walter P. Chrysler himself had been in, built, and unveiled at the New York Auto Show. All right, so we are in the 2025 Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid, which I actually haven't reviewed, but again, I can't review it. It's gonna take too long, but it's been a cool event so far. We rode in the Cordoba and the Chrysler 6. I drove the 1950s 300, and I broke it, which was cool. I was the first person to drive it, and I broke it. It's a push-button transmission off to the left, and I pushed the button and it went into the dashboard, which I was not pressing it hard, so I felt bad about that. There were no other cars available, so I just hopped into Pacifica. I thought I'd kind of give you guys a little midday update, because I know I've been doing voiceover because events like this just aren't very conducive to like filming in the car. I've had someone with me the entire time. I get stage fright. I don't want to like be like, hey, shut up, I'm going to make a video. Like, I don't know, at these events, it's just, But as of right now, I'm driving this hybrid Pacifica. It's actually pretty torquey. It's kind of nicer than the standard Pacifica. Again, I've only driven the standard Pacifica, and this thing is actually pretty decent. Has 13 miles of electric charge. Not bad. Not bad at all. You really start to rub elbows with, like, I don't want to say titans of industry, but like big names of the industries, which is really, really cool. So, I don't know. It's cool meeting the people that actually design the cars. At least I think it's cool. But yeah, we'll do a little walk around of this hybrid Pacifica and get back to driving some vintage stuff. So that's not arguably more fun. That is more fun. There's no argument. It is just more fun to drive the older stuff. So this is a 2006 Chrysler 300C SRT8. It only has 18,000 miles on it, which is just incredible. Really, really, truly incredible stuff. Obviously, this is my backpack, but like, look at how mint this interior is. Absolutely beautiful interior. Doesn't ride great. Definitely a very harsh ride while driving, but very, very cool to see such an original, obviously well-kept example. This is owned by the Chrysler Corporation. That's not rusting out over the fenders like most of these do. So very, very cool to see this. After the Pacifica, I hopped into the 1963 turbine car. Absolutely unreal.
That it's a jet-powered car, so the whole spooling up process is it sounds wonderful.
Oh wow.
That's it. That's 22,000 RPM.
Jeez. Does it use a regular transmission?
It does use a 727 transmission.
Oh wow, yeah. That's super cool. How do you guys get fuel for it?
We run this on kerosene.
Oh,
so you can find that just about any gas station, especially in the winter months.
Yeah.
People still use it for heating.
Yeah.
The small heaters.
Wasn't one of the selling points for this car, or that it can run on just about anything?
Yes.
I think I read that the
Gasoline.
president of Mexico ran one on tequila.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So it'll run on diesel, gasoline. Kerosene's so cheap, and it's just clean.
Yeah. It does sound like a jetliner.
Yeah, it's a regular jet engine, but it does have a transmission, but it doesn't have a torque converter.
Okay.
It uses the turbine design actually is two-stage. So it runs off one turbine. It's almost like its secondary kicks in and allows the propulsion to start moving the trans.
Gotcha.
It's the easiest way to describe it. And 22,000 RPM, 23,000
Yeah.
right now.
Does it get up and go, or is it kind of mellow?
It's about like a 318. It's very mellow.
Okay.
To be honest, I've never put it to the floor,
Yeah.
but I don't feel the need to.
Next up was the 1948 Chrysler Town & Country. This is the iconic wood-sided car that started it all before the war and was resumed after. Chrysler actually purchased a forest and the wood mill that was on the property in Arkansas just to supply the wood for the doors and trunk. And no, the doors and trunk are not covered in wood. They are actually fully made out of wood. Finally, I took a ride in the 1934 Airflow sedan. This car revolutionized automotive design, being the first car designed in a wind tunnel. It's noted as the first modern automobile. Okay, now this is a truly special car to be driving. This is a 1986 Chrysler LeBaron Town & Country. It's a convertible, it has the wood paneling down the side, and this particular one only has 2,769 miles on it. And this car has never been registered outside of Chrysler because this was Lee Iacocca's personal Chrysler LeBaron. Now, the story goes the fact that his daughters really put most of the miles on this car that are on it, but this unequivocally has been driven and was technically owned by Lee Iacocca, the man that pretty much developed the K car and made it what it is. One of the most iconic names and influences in not only Chrysler's history, but Ford, GM, and, well, automotive history. I don't know if you can see, I have goosebumps driving this car. Driving something that Lee Iacocca personally had. I mean, this is peak K car. I don't think I can drive any better. I have goosebumps on my legs right now, and it is maybe a touch chilly with the top down, but this is just absolutely special. So crazy. This piece of history. And all the journalists here today have just been breezing by it. Oh, it's a little fun, 80s, top down, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, this is like, imagine you got to walk a mile in Jesus' sandals. That's what this is like for me. I mean, like, okay, that's a bit of hyperbole, of course, but like, that's actually how I feel with this. This is sacred ground of which I am driving, I am piloting. Of all the cars today, the turbine car was cool. The Chrysler Airflow we just got out of was wonderful, but this is the most impactful to me emotionally. We'll get out and do a quick walk around. They don't really want us to stop and take pictures because they're trying to get everyone through, but it is towards the end of the event. And a lot of people either went to lunch or I think people are starting to go home, so I might get a little bit of extra time with this. We'll see. We shall see. All right, so obviously we have the fake wood paneling down the side. It is a turbo model, so it has the hood vents. I mean, it doesn't get any more pristine of a K car than this. And this is Lee Iacocca's, the man, the myth, the legend. Incredible, incredible. This is so cool. Let's get a look at this interior as well. I mean, just mint of the mint. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It does have digital gauges. Obviously the car is off, but Man, I mean, look at this wood paneling. Sadly, it does not have the voice box. Later, LeBarons had a basically not text-to-speech, but a voice that would say, like, you know, headlights are on. I'll play a clip here from my buddy Carl's.
Don't forget your keys. Your headlights are on.
But yeah, that is so, so cool. This is, I'm flabbergasted. This is the coolest thing in the world. All right, so we wrapped up the Chrysler event. It was absolutely awesome. Really, really cool. We got to drive a lot of stuff. I was so excited to drive Lee Iacocca's car. And we got to do a review of the Chrysler Firepower. So watch out for that. Our first concept car review on the channel. I also met Tommy from the Fast Lane Car Truck Classic, all that stuff. I met a couple other people. Everyone was super awesome. Great event. We have a little bit of time to kill now. My friends aren't free until a little bit later, so we're gonna take in some of the sites. We're on Belle Isle. We're gonna take in some of those sites, maybe go to a museum or something, and then we will go and hang out with some friends. But yeah, good day. Exhausting day, but good day. Are you proud of your new camper top,
Yeah.
Colin?
Yeah.
It's color matched really well. I'm ready. Why is it in mustard?
Because that's what makes it a corny dog. It needs mustard. Wait. I'm doing something.
Oh yeah. All right, so it is the final morning. It unfortunately is raining, which filming in the rain is never fun. I still do it just to maintain on schedule. I don't love it, but it's kind of a necessary evil, and I would much rather have the rain today than yesterday, because then we wouldn't have been able to film any concept cars. The whole ordeal would have been bad. So the rain stayed away for that, so I am grateful. We have 3 cars on the docket, at least today, a 96 Dodge Dakota, and then we're gonna drive up to Flint, Michigan and drive 2 JDM cars from our friends at Nomad Imports. And then we'll hit the road home and I'll give some final thoughts on the trip as a whole. So, busy day, but that's how we like it here. And hopefully we can get on the road at a decent time and get home at a decent time. That's the plan. So, if we don't talk again till the end of the day, enjoy. Car number 1, 96 Dodge Dakota with a 2.5 liter AMC engine, done. Throughout the rest of the day, I forgot to film what I was reviewing, so I'll tell you now. I went up to Nomad Imports in Flint, Michigan and drove a 1999 Toyota Altezza, a 1982 Toyota Sprinter GT, and a Suzuki Wagon R. After that, I hopped back in the Mazda and headed back home. On my drive home, I was given plenty of time to reflect on the trip that I had just been on. From the early parts of going and visiting Klipsch at Third Man Records, it was really cool to learn how they made vinyls and an interesting piece of the music industry that I don't often get to deal with. Huge thank you to Spencer for not only sharing his collection with us, but letting me review the Pontiac Transport. And of course, the crown jewel of Chrysler. The Chrysler event was absolutely awesome. We got to sample so many cool cars. cars, I was able to review a concept car, something that I had wanted to check off my bucket list for many, many years. I was able to do that, and it was really cool to see the brand's history not only on page, but directly in front of us, and even get to drive some of these historical vehicles. Driving Lee Iacocca's LeBaron will stick with me forever as a very, very crucial memory. That was one of the coolest things and coolest vehicles that I have ever driven, just in terms of a piece of history. It was great to see friends, and of course catch up with Nomad Imports and checking out some of their modern inventory. I have to say, throughout all of this, however, there was one thing that kept coming back to mind, and I didn't really mention it throughout the video. This trip reignited my love for my Mazda 3. This little car was absolutely amazing. Before I got press cars, I would do 30 to 40,000 miles a year in this car. In the first 3 years that I owned it, I had racked up over 100,000 miles. And now that I'm lucky enough to get press cars every week, this vehicle is sidelined more often than not, but it's still fantastic. It got great fuel economy. I averaged about 32 miles to the gallon over the 600 miles that I did. It didn't give me any fuss after sitting for an entire winter with no road trips. It got right back onto the road like nothing was even skipped. So I absolutely adore this Mazda, and I'm so glad that I still have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Huge thank you to Klipsch, huge thank you to Chrysler, and of course everyone that made this trip possible. It was absolutely one for the books, and I was so excited to take you along with me. Until next time, take care everyone.